What's up, guys? Dustin McDangles back here with another video, and welcome back to the NHL season preview series. We are back in the Atlantic Division today, and in this episode we're going to be taking a look at the Boston Bruins. We'll be taking a look at their team stats from last year, how they finished up, take a look at the players that have left, the players that they've brought in, and we'll also take a look at my future predictions for them for this upcoming season. But before we do get into the episode, guys, on the screen now, little stat: the majority of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. If you are watching this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like anything NHL hockey. We'll be covering it all season long, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the action. But that's going to be it for that little blurb. Let's go ahead and get into this and take a look at the Boston Bruins. Having had a solid season last year, the Boston Bruins finished off in the Atlantic Division with 107 points and a record of 51, 26, and 5. I expect the Bruins to do the same this upcoming season with the players and team they are bringing back, but their team stats from last year: goals for, they were 15th. Goals against was an outstanding 4th in the league, and they had a power play of 21.2% with a penalty kill of 81.3%. Again, all of those stats being absolutely crazy. They actually only missed out on the third place in the division by 3 points. The Tampa Bay Lightning had 110, so the Bruins were good enough for the first wild card spot. And with the team that they're bringing in this upcoming season, again, I fully expect them to be back where they were as long as they are able to stay healthy and strong and able to get some goal scoring from their top players such as Marchand, Pastrnak, and Bergeron. You can fully expect the Bruins to be back where they typically are. But taking a look now at the players that have left and the players that have been brought in, not a too crazy list here. Erik Haula being the first players to leave for the Bruins, as well as Curtis Lazar. Those are the only noteworthy names that have actually left the squad. Now, when it comes to players that they've brought in, Pavel Zacha being one of the bigger acquisitions in that trade with Erik Haula with the Devils. Keith Kincaid has also come in for a little bit of depth between the pipes, and a longtime Bruin and fan favorite David Krejci is back from the Czech Republic, ready to play some more NHL hockey for a new head coach. But taking a look now at their projected lines, these are a little jacked up because for some reason Marchand is not in there, so I apologize for that. I have nothing to do with making this site, but the way they have it is Zacha, Bergeron, DeBrusk on that top line. I would fully expect them to have Marchand, Bergeron, and Pastrnak unless the coach tries to break them up and make two solid lines. Second line right now, they've got Hall, Krejci, Pastrnak. Third line, Frederick, Coyle, and Smith. That's a very solid third line. And then on the fourth line, as of right now, you've got Foligno, Stanika, and Nosek. Again, with technically Marchand in there, I would think either Nosek or Stanika wouldn't be in the lineup for that. But on the back end, they've got Lindholm and Carlo, Forbert and Clifton, Riley and Zabril. Again, with that, I would fully expect Charlie McAvoy to be in there, and either Riley, Clifton, or Zabril not actually in the lineup. So again, these line projections are a little jacked up, and when the Bruins are at full strength, man, they are a team to be reckoned with. They are a tough out for any team in the NHL. Now, taking a look at the contracts right now, they've got a lot of work to do this upcoming season and potential off season. Obviously, the big name to note here that they really need to re-sign is David Pastrnak. He's unrestricted free agent coming up. He's only 26 years old. You got to find a way to get a deal done with him either before the regular season actually starts or at some point in the season. You do not want to go into next offseason, especially if for some reason, let's say the Bruins, crazy injuries, they don't make the playoffs. Pastrnak, I don't know if he ends up staying. I hope he does for the sake of Bruins fans, but who knows. Also noteworthy names, you've got Nick Foligno, who needs to get a new deal. I don't think they're going to bring him back, considering the fact he's been injured a lot these past couple of years through his years of Columbus, Toronto, and now Boston. Who knows if he can actually stay healthy. They've got Pavel Zacha. They'll have to wait and see what he does this year, I think, before they can give him a deal. He is only 25 years old. He is a pretty solid player in the NHL, so I fully expect him to get a deal. Craig Smith, I'd say the word is out on him. He's had a couple good seasons for the Bruins, but at 33 years old, I don't expect them to bring him back after this upcoming season. Patrice Bergeron being the captain of the Bruins, he just signed a 1-year deal to stay with Boston. This might be his last year unless they go on a run. Maybe he wants to go out as a Stanley Cup champion, but at $2.5 million, this could be the last we see of Patrice Bergeron, which Bruins fans enjoy it. Soak it in while you can because he is an outstanding hockey player. You've got Thomas Nosek, you've got Chris Wagner, Trent Frederick, and David Krejci all on expiring deals. Again, I don't think Krejci is going to re-sign after this year. I think it's one more kick at the can for him and Bergeron and basically see what happens. Now on the back end, you've got Grzelcyk, Forbort, Riley, and Zabril all needing deals after next season. So really their back end is tied up pretty good. The only player of note that actually needs a deal after this upcoming season is going to be Connor Clifton, and who knows if they end up actually bringing him back. He is 27 years old, only making $1 million a year. It really depends on how much playing time he gets this year, and if the games he's actually in he plays well. I think they end up trying to bring him back as a solid deal around that $1 to $1.2 million range. It's really going to depend on what they can do with their cap space moving forward in the future seasons. Now, between the pipes, you've got Ullmark and Swayman. Swayman obviously being the starter. He is what the Bruins are banking on, considering the fact he's still on his rookie deal, so he's going to be a restricted free agent after this season. Depending on this year, if he stays healthy, if he plays out of his mind, if he gets the Bruins, I'd say at least to the conference finals, you can expect a big payday out of that. Ullmark actually on a $5 million hit. That's a lot for a backup goaltender in the NHL. And if Swayman has a great season, stays healthy, does everything I said he would do, who knows if they actually end up keeping Ullmark around, and maybe there's a team in the NHL out there that needs one, but maybe you keep the tandem around if they are playing well, if they are at the top of the Atlantic Division, who knows, but I fully expect Swayman to get a solid deal and stay a Boston Bruin for a pretty long time. But now really getting into my predictions for this upcoming season, I've kind of been hinting at it this entire video. If the Bruins are the Bruins, I fully expect them to be in the hunt for the division. Last year, they had some injuries. They had to deal with some stuff, losing McAvoy, losing some other players for some time. And again, I expect the Bruins to be up second, third, fourth in the division. I don't expect them to miss the playoffs again unless the injury bug hits them hard. I expect them to have around that 108 to 115 point year, so either good enough for second or third in the division. Now, you've got some other teams in there that you're going to have to battle like they did last year. You got the Panthers, Leafs, Lightning. You got some teams up and coming too. You got the Sabres, Red Wings, and Senators that are really not pushovers this upcoming season. So it's going to be tough for the Bruins, but I think they'll be able to get it done, get into the playoffs. I don't expect a Stanley Cup out of this, so Bergeron and Krejci are coming back. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to win a cup, but I think they'll be able to give a Bruins a nice little send-off season to their careers. Possibly a run to the conference finals, where I think they might end up losing to somebody in the Metro, but you never know. The Bruins could surprise some people and win the Stanley Cup. I honestly wouldn't be shocked. But I want to hear from you Boston Bruins fans down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to have the biggest season? Is it going to be Pastrnak? Is it going to be Marchand? Is it going to be McAvoy? Is Swayman going to put his name and stamp his name in the Vezina conversation? I want to hear you guys down below in the comments. But if you've made it to this point in the video so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are growing like crazy, and I cannot thank you guys enough for the love and support you've been showing the channel. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers before the start of the season, so hit that subscribe button to stick around for some awesome hockey content all year long. But that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, stay dusty.